love to see every ISKCON temple have a youth program, just like they have a DD department, kitchen department, life membership department, donor cultivation department. Have a department that takes care actively of youth preaching.
These kind of projects have to start on a community basis. We can't wait for management or these people to, direct us. We as a community, we as a society have to take initiative and start creating these platforms and start creating these ideas, brainstorming these ideas, and then from there, it can expand.
I think definitely as Srila Prabhupada gave so much of trust and faith in the starting, ISKCON, which as you mentioned was a youth group itself. We need to give that love and faith and trust in the youth a lot more. I don't think the pressure of letting our youth age and then suddenly take on magnanimous, tasks is fair. And I think also youth making mistakes should be encouraged. So for me, it would be about starting young, but allowing youth to make mistakes, take chances and prove, almost earn their stripes. Because if you do that, if you give them the confidence to realize that they are part of this ISKCON, they have a lot to add. Then that's the only way that we can actually see the youth staying in the movement as well as progressing in it.
Youth programs, I feel like they have to be focused on something that's missionary. There has to be focused on something that's really going to save the world. That's what youth are attracted to. They're attracted to some kind of mission. They're attracted to, traveling. They're attracted to something that's really going to make a difference in the world, especially the 21st century teenager.
We're working actively with temples and temple presidents right now to instill this idea that every temple department needs to have an apprentice or an understudy, a young person that's working underneath them, so that there is a succession plan for every person in those departments, so when they move on and when they get too old or when they need to leave for whatever reason, there's a young person who can fill in and already is trained up.
I would appeal to all yatras that don't already have a youth group to consider it, because it will do so much for your youth in terms of feeling energized, feeling a sense of belonging, and they will want to take up services if they have a good support system of friends, if they have good support also from the temple authorities. You'll just see your congregation really boom, because now it's individuals, not just from the adults and the parents, but you'll see an entire age group of really young aspiring spiritualists that are actually going to now take your whole congregation forward. And it's not just in the small ways of getting them to do cleaning of pots, or it's about them feeling a sense of belonging and a sense of ownership to actually see all activities from the temple taking shape.
My advice for you out there, start small. Start small and work your way up. Find your core members, find close friends that you can open yourself and your heart to, and just share some ideas of how you can engage the youth. It can be camping trips, it can be some other outlets of creating a platform, and then dovetailing that and doing some nice programs or outreach, inreach, maybe some sadhu sangha, have someone talk about interesting topics, some controversial topics that you don't hear in Bhagavatam class, or creating these kind of environments where people feel open, and at the same time it doesn't take a lot of planning.
Every other church in the world, or a mosque, or a temple, they've figured out over the generations that they need the next generation. They need the young people at their church. Otherwise they won't survive. So there's the pastor and there's the youth pastor. There's the imam and there's the youth imam who just preaches to the youth. So everyone's got it figured out. It's just a matter of time in ISKCON before we also come to that realization that we really need our youth.
I'd like to encourage everybody to get involved with the youth. They're very enthusiastic, we've got a great resource there, they're really interested kids, they want to serve ISKCON. Let's take advantage of that, keep them involved and inspire and enthuse them. They're ready for us, we need to keep them. Thank you very much for watching.